championship doubleheader continues as the Aptos Mariners try to defend their home court against the speedy Santa Cruz Cardinals. CTV's coverage of the SCCAL championships continue now. Good evening and welcome back here to Aptos High School for the Boys Championship as the Aptos Mariners take on the Santa Cruz Cardinals. With Kurt Edwards, my name is Tim Swartz. And Kurt, after that double OT girls game, we have a little bit left in the tank for this boys game.
We better have a little bit left in the tank because these two teams are going to flat out run. They like to run.
Let's check out their latest results. And for Santa Cruz, as opposed to Aptos, just one previous victory in this tournament. They had to bye the first round.
They had to bye. All they had to do is get by SCCAL, and they played SCCAL very well, beat them very handily. So it was an easy win. Nice tune-up.
On the other side, for Aptos, a couple of victories.
They had to go do it the hard way, if you will. They had to go through San Lorenzo Valley. That was pretty easy, but then Harbor. Harbor took them right down to the mat, and they were able to come away with that one. So battle-tested, we'll give that one nod to the Aptos Mariners.
We first of all talk about this Santa Cruz team. We've seen them warm up behind us. I mean, this team can shoot.
They like to shoot the rock. They have not met a shot that they haven't liked all warm-up, and you can see that throughout the entire game.
And one advantage is we go to the other side with Aptos. They've got a little bit bigger of a front line.
They are a little bit bigger up in that front line. Greaves is going to be the one thing that's going to really make or break it for the Aptos Mariners. He can fill it up, and he can fill it up quickly, and Harrell loves to play underneath the bucket.
Kurt and I will be back with the opening tip after this. Santa Cruz and Aptos in the SCCAL Boys Championship coming up on CTV Sports. SCCAL Championship continues. The Aptos Mariners host the Santa Cruz Cardinals. With Kurt Edwards, my name is Tim Swartz. We're here on CTV, a presentation of community television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made possible in part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet at co-location data centers, flexible workspace with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Brinks Awards and Signs. Think Brinks for all your engraving, trophies, and awards. Brinks' collaborative design team has been creating quality recognition since 1974. On the internet at brinksawards.com. So we are here at Aptos High School. Let's see how these two teams stack up in the final boys standings as we see Aptos being announced here, and they are the road team officially, and the reason why Santa Cruz finished first in league.
They finished first in league, and you can see just as it was supposed to come out to this final game, Santa Cruz on top, Aptos Harbor did a whale of a battle, and basically the rest of the crew followed suit.
So we have our starting lineups announced, and first of all, we'll start with officially the visitors in their dark navy uniforms, the Aptos Mariners.
Henderson at guard, he's going to be busy. Hinga and Harrell, and that's Greaves and Montoya. Look for Nick Greaves, who'd have a big night, but I'll tell you one thing, Santa Cruz is going to be, you got in Mackey, Williams, DeMayo, Schmidt, and Conroy. Those are going to be the five that are going to be doing battle against the Aptos Mariners.
And let's take a look at Joe Smith's keys for this game for Aptos.
Joey says we're going to have to play good transitional defense, block out and rebound, and limit the turnovers. Sounds like a good idea from the coach for the Aptos Mariners. There's Coach Smith. Very intense coach. He's kind of got a little laid-back look to him, but I'll tell you one thing, he runs a very tough practice. Bill Domhoff, second year for the Cardinals, going to have to hound number 23, and that's Nick Greaves. He's a shooter. Limit Aptos in their second shot opportunities, and my favorite three-letter word, Tim, run.
It's going to be an up-and-down game as you see Coach Domhoff. We talked about in the open a little bit, size advantage with a couple of 6'3" players in their starting lineup. Goes with Aptos as we see our referee crew. Those three guys will be officiating. It's the top crew you can find in the area.
Todd Willisco is on your right. Tom Smith is right there in the center. Good veteran crew all the way around. Tad's been around since, well, he's been around a long time.
Been around since you've been around.
He's been around since I've been around. He's seen a lot of these great games. He's a very solid official.
In case you missed out, the girls' game went to St. Francis in double overtime by 1 point over the SoCal Knights. So we hope that this game is as tight, and it promises to be. These two teams split their season series, and they're very evenly matched. If you kind of look for strengths, Santa Cruz is going to be to push the ball. For Aptos, it's going to be find their shooters and run their half-court sets.
It's going to be that one. And, I'll tell you, the one guy that we can look forward to seeing how he's going to work the boards is Jake Harrell of Aptos. He does a fantastic job of working the paint. Last time when we were here against SoCal, you can remember he had a field day underneath the boards. He was great. He's going to have the same type of game tonight.
Yeah, Harrell, last time we were here for senior night for the Aptos Mariners, had 24 points in the first half.
Right, and I think the longest shot was maybe 6 feet.
So he's a guy that works underneath. Look for him on your screen, number 22, and look for number 23. That's what Coach Domhoff was talking about, one of his 3 keys, and he told me before this game that they're going to have to know where Nick Greaves is. He's a 6'3" gunner.
He is that one. And if you remember against the SoCal game, as we're getting ready to jump it up, SoCal shot down number 23 all the way up until the 4th quarter. Then he caught fire, game over.
That's all they need is 1 quarter. He said, Coach Domhoff said that he really thinks that shutting down Nick Greaves is the difference between a very close game and Aptos having a double-digit lead. Tip controlled by DeMeo back to his point guard, Zen Maki, and we are set to go. Left to right comes Santa Cruz in the home whites and Aptos on their home floor in the road navy uniforms. Early rebound for Harrell off the miss from Schmidt. The ball is just kept in by Greaves. Oh, man.
Little Harlem Globetrotter action just to start the game. Fast and furious, not how you wanted to do it. Now let's see him settle down and play some offense.
2-3 zone from the Cardinals early. Left wing Greaves had a 3. Instead we'll take an 18-footer. High archer rattles in.
Greaves, nice shot, good look at the basket.
2-0 Mariners in the lane. Looked like Maki. It was hard to see if he was going up or if he was trying to pass the ball. And the referee call will be that he was shooting the ball.
Tadlowitz go over here by the scorer's table, had the 2 fingers up, so Zen gets an opportunity to go to the line and get some more points on the board.
First free throw is in. Maki, a 4-year varsity player. And one of the captains of this team, a real leader for Coach Domhoff. Second free throw also in. 2-2 score early between Santa Cruz and Aptos. Thanks for joining us on Community Television. Tim Swartz along with Kurt Edwards for the second of our championship doubleheader.
Look for both of these clubs to press almost all night. Aptos did a nice job of breaking that press.
Harrell back out to Henderson, drove in, and Harrell was fouled underneath.
I think it was foul at number 45, Ty DeMeo. And a little bit of pushing and shoving underneath.
First personal, first team. This ball's inbounded up top to Hinga. Hinga left wing, 3 on the way. Give it to him. Maki on the other side will get fouled again. And Hinga's called for the foul. Second team foul.
You can see real quick that Santa Cruz does not waste any time. They get the ball and they bring it right back up the floor. Maki is very, very quick.
Second team foul. Maki's first free throw is in.
Quick and a good free throw shooter.
Second free throw for Maki is in. He's 4 for 4 at the line.
So far we've got Aptos 5, Maki 4.
As press is broken by Henderson. Terminates at the right free throw line, extended underneath for Harrell. Puts this one up over his defender, Conroy, and in.
Good job, little head fakes. Everybody goes flying by. That's one of the things that Jake does so very well.
Straight away, no good for Williams on the 3, but an offensive rebound for the Cardinals and slicing through the lane, Maki.
Maki doing a one-man offensive show, but you can see why. The point guard is very, very quick and likes to attack the basket.
Can get cross-court pass. Henderson thought about a 3-2. 3 zone that extends well beyond the 3-point line. Harrell dishes out to Hinga. Right side. 3 is in. It's now 10-6. The score in favor of Aptos.
Anderson, just like I thought was going to happen, they're going to try and get those threes going quick, put a lot of pressure on Santa Cruz, and they did.
Harrell makes a steal underneath. Oh, looked like Henderson might have moved. He gets rid of the ball, but Santa Cruz takes it away. Schmidt pull up, 18-footer, nothing but nets.
You said at the top before we went on air, Tim, that these two teams like to shoot and they don't miss their shots. And guess what? You're right.
Greaves, an off-balance 3. In and out. Montoya tipped the rebound to Harrell. He'll go back up top to Henderson. Back down low, Montoya spins, loses that ball. It's out off of Santa Cruz. 10-8 lead for Aptos with 5:10 remaining in the first quarter. Back and forth action. We're on pace for a game in the 70s or 80s. Harrell off balance, can't get it to go. Strong rebound for DeMeo running the center position. Great dish down low. Schmidt lays it up and in.
Good job, good looking by Schmidt to look down the floor to find where the ball was coming from.
Greaves, nothing but net. 13-footer for Vic Greaves, like a layup for most.
Don't blink, folks. This is their normal pace. They can do this for all 4 quarters.
Harrell puts his hand in there and takes a steal away from Clayton Conroe. Hinga drives from the lane. Nobody stops it. He'll lay it up and in. 14-10 Aptos.
Joey Smith, the head man for Aptos, up and barking. Bill Domhoff still sitting. Hinga with a nice block. We do have a foul. No foul.
Yes, a little bit of contact between Hinga and Maki, and no fouls called. Looks pretty fair as Hinga's in the backcourt, and Aptos will break it. Greaves was fouled as he went up, and he'll get 3 free throws. Schmidt, not a smart foul from the right, just hacked him very blatantly.
No, you're sitting, you're coming from the angle and slightly behind. All right, it's a 3-point. It's not the best percentage shot. Yes, it is Greaves, but let him shoot that shot, crash the boards, and go get a rebound. Because a 15-foot freebie for Greaves is almost as good as a gimme.
Greaves will have 3 at the free throw line. Hey.
That jinxed him.
Gotta be careful, Kurt. 4-point lead for Aptos early. That was the second team foul, the first personal against Schmidt. There we go.
That had better rotation on it, too.
15-10 as Greaves now leads all scorers with 5. Third of 3. In. 6 for Greaves. 16-10 lead. Right side, face up, jumper in for DeMeo. And we're talking about how good these teams are shooting. That's the center who just nailed a 15-footer like it was nothing.
Yeah, it was nice and easy. Got a great look at it. Good rotation.
Henderson into the front court. Greaves terminates his dribble, looks for some help. Releases out to Harrell, travels.
Got too busy, Tim. Kept moving and trying to fight his way through those 2 guys. Just got too busy. Couldn't get the ball on the floor fast enough.
4-point lead for Aptos here at Aptos High School over Santa Cruz. Maki, 3 on the way, nothing but net. 7-9.
Greaves and Maki have said, this is our show. At least they're playing like it's going to be their show.
Hinga into the front court for his second 3 of the day. Give it to him.
Hinga with 8. Maki says, watch this.
Just off the front of the iron. Greaves, errant pass, stolen away, laid up and in by Williams. His first basket of the day. 2-point lead for Aptos. Fever pitch continues with 3:12 remaining in the first quarter. Hinga, right wing, Greaves doesn't take the 3. He drives in the lane with contact, throws it up off the back of the iron. He'll get to the line for 2 free throws. And Hinga appears as though he might have jammed a finger on his right hand.
He's not coming out, though. You can already hear the conversation. Nah. How many times have you played basketball, you end up sticking your finger in the basketball? It only hurts for a little while.
First free throw is in for Greaves. Now this has been a fever pitch.
Watch Greaves. He puts his shoulder down, finds a little opening, gets through there a little bit too much on the shot, but he's going to be able to make up for it at the free throw line. He missed his first and then dropped 4 in a row.
8 for Greaves, 21-17 lead for Aptos. 3 minutes still to go in the first quarter. We have seen a lot of offense. Bounce pass down low to Conroy. Releases to Mayo, who will lay it in.
They pushed that ball deep in and it's had great movement right around the paint, which is fantastic.
8 of the 10 starters have already scored. Henderson couldn't get the first one to go. Montoya, Hinga, left wing. Can't get his third 3 of the game. And Santa Cruz collects the rebounds. Maki up between the rings. See how quick of a player he is.
He handles the ball good. Good point guard. Nice little give to the big center, DeMayo, but he couldn't quite hang on to it. A little bit behind him.
Hinga leaves it off for the point guard. Conlin Henderson, 5'9" senior. 3 seniors in the starting lineup for Aptos. And neither of these teams have made a substitution left. Yet, Harold can't get the shooter's roll. And Schmidt seals off the rebound way too far up court though, and a turnover.
That's one of those passes that you don't necessarily, you see it, it looks like a good pass, but you know, at this stage of the game, just get the ball up the court.
What do you think Coach Smith, as we just saw him on our screen, thinks about the game so far?
He's happy with it. He's happy with the pace. He's happy with the fact that the Mariners are playing good, solid offense and defense. Especially likes the fact that they're able to get those free throws in.
Hinga up the right wing. Looks to reverse court to Montoya in the lane. Back iron. Schmidt cleans up the rebound. Maki up court. Crosses over. Nice spin move and Hill floated in.
Maki is just a heck of a lot of fun to watch. He takes the ball down from his point guard position. Kind of reminds me of a smaller Magic Johnson, able to get inside and mix it up underneath the boards.
Henderson, right side. Harold thought about the foot-on-the-line jumper. He'll take it to the baseline. Lays it up and in to Mayo. Some Matador defense gets out of the way.
Yeah, you don't want to give Harrell the baseline at all.
Greaves collects the miss and will bring it up himself. Behind the back, fancy dribbling, a little bit too fancy against this Santa Cruz team as Schmidt travels.
Tom Smith, the official on this side, caught it going down. Whistle that traveling, and it's a turnover. It's a big turnover. Aptos turned it over, so you saw 2 in a row. That can be caused a lot by the pace that these guys play under.
We see some substitutions. Our first of the game, Kurt, into the game. 23 on your screen for Santa Cruz, Dominic Bonner, and Jamie St. John, number 32. It's Sam Akiyama into the game. Real physical perimeter player as Montoya gets himself in the scorer's book. 25-21. This is on pace for a 190 game straight away. Trifecta, you betcha.
Hansen with a bomber.
Hansen. Yeah, Hansen just checked in as well. Aptos trying to slow the pace down just a bit. Danny Victory up at the logo, taking the last shot of this first quarter.
Wait to get it inside about 10 or 12 seconds, and here comes the offense as they run it.
Greaves was double teamed. Harold goes baseline again, gives up his dribble, and he travels.
We used to call that up and down. Leave the floor, come back with the floor, don't do anything in the basketball, traveling. So 5 seconds to go.
Maki takes it with 4. Crosses half court. All the way, will lay it up and in as time runs out of the first quarter. 26-25. The Santa Cruz Cardinals lead the Aptos Mariners after the first quarter of play. CTV Sports is a presentation of Community Television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Brinks Awards and Signs. Think Brinks for all your engraving, trophies, and awards. Brinks' collaborative design team has been creating quality recognition since 1974 on the internet at brinksawards.com. Let's check out some of Zen Maki, our leading scorer on the game with 13 points in the first quarter.
Well, basketball is definitely Zen to Maki as he continues to work the way up and down the floor. Good shooting touch. Comes up, head up, body up, gives a good observation of the floor all the way around, plays good, tough defense just as well. So I'll tell you, Tim, this game doesn't surprise me at all. The pace that they're coming after each other, the shooting ability of both of these. Aptos is doing a pretty good job of breaking the Cardinals' press, and that was one of the things that I know Joey was concerned about going in is, can we break this press?
Starting
the answer is yes.
Fill it up here at Aptos as fans still coming in.
There was a good line still outside the door when they did the national anthem.
And here's a steal, and all the way to the rack. Dominic Bonner, his first two, 28-25 Santa Cruz.
Dominic Bonner is known for his defense, and you can see right now with the substitutions that Bill Domhoff has been doing that he's not afraid to go to the bench. He's got arguably 10 starters out there.
Montoya fouled in the lane, and it's against Maki.
St. John, number 32, also in the game for the white-clad Cardinals. So what you got out there, talking to the two coaches, Bill and Joel Domhoff, they've got the starting five, and their next five could probably, if they were to play, maybe have that fourth best team in the league. That's how good they are.
Akiyama off the miss, puts it in. And now Aptos has 6 different players on the scoreboard. DeMeo gets back in the scoring book. He's got 6.
Maki decides to do that one. That's what penetration will do for you, Tim. You get all the way in there, they've got to go to the guy who's got the basketball, leaving somebody else open.
Right side, Victory bounced it down low, and a traveling violation against Terrell.
That's right, I think the third time the number 22 has traveled, and Jake's he's working hard. You can see him using his shoulders to get some good leverage on the rest of his players. Here's Bill Domhoff, head man for the Santa Cruz Cardinals. Played for the legendary Pete Newell. We were kind of laughing about the shot clock and lack of it a while back.
Hinga reads out a pass. He steals it. Tries to bounce pass it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Jonah Hodges, a 5'8" junior who just came into the game.
Not a bad move as far as I'm concerned with Hinga. If he goes up, he's going to get killed or blocked or both. Try the bounce pass. At worst, it gets knocked out. You still have a lot on the shot clock, and you still have the basketball.
Hinga up between the rings, left side for Montoya. Looks to drive it in. Harrell way away from the basket. Greaves catch and shoots. Air ball. And there's that defensive specialist we were talking about, Bonner.
Right inside Greaves' jersey. And you're going to see him inside the jersey the entire time that he's in there.
30-27 lead for Santa Cruz. DeMeo tried to pass it down low. Bonner, off a couple of tips, ends up with it. Left wing, trifecta, nothing but net for Hansen. Timeout called for by Coach Smith, and you were talking about how intense Coach Smith is. He came off the bench, not very happy.
He's not very happy at all. His defense is not flowing very well. Of course, the crispness at which Santa Cruz is passing the ball around is very impressive. The Aptos offense seems to be bogged down a little bit. Now, whether they're just off their game right now, hard to say, but what puts you off the game is the tenacity that you're playing defensively. All right, basketball history, my favorite, Charles Barkley pulls down his 10,000th career rebound, becoming the 10th NBA player with 20,000 points and 10,000 rebounds in a career, the round mound of rebound.
Mr. Barkley, and here's that left wing three from Hansen. Good stroke, his second of the game.
Did you see that, Tim? The pass was to him, he caught it and was immediately going into his shooting stroke. So he is already in great rhythm, had a good look at the basket, knew exactly what he was going to do. Defense hadn't rolled over to him and didn't get a chance because he didn't sit there long enough for him to get there.
Get a little bit of a listen into the Santa Cruz huddle with Coach Domhoff in his second season. Always one of the best programs, not only in the county, but in the section. There's a trap, and Greaves tries to release it quickly. They roll up the right wing to Conlon Henderson. Harrell is double teamed, and he ran over Hodges. Charging call.
Great defensive position by Hodges, number 12. And Harrell just turned drop that shoulder, and as soon as you do that, the guy hits the deck.
Second
have
personal
a call
against Harrell, and the third team foul against Aptos. This is the second team on the floor for Santa Cruz. Bonner, 3, nails it. They come in waves with this Cardinals team. Greaves tried to throw it down to Harrell, and it's out of bounds underneath off of Santa Cruz.
They do come in waves, and some of the Aptos crowd that's sitting around us thought that should have been a foul. To me, that was a very good non-call.
Henderson in. Greaves is rejected by Bonner. Runs the fast break. Great pass down the floor. Left hand layup and in for Hansen. 8 points off the bench for Hansen. 38-27 Santa Cruz. They force another turnover with Hodges in the backcourt.
You see the quickness right now taking over for the Santa Cruz Cardinals. They're a little bit quicker getting to the spot, and Aptos making the long passes that can be dangerous.
Hodges all alone. Straightaway 3, left iron. No good. Bonner picks up the rebound. Tried to throw it off of Henderson. He was out of bounds.
Good quick thinking on Bonner's part. I was really impressed down here on the Aptos offensive end on how Bonner was quick to get up in the air and block Greaves' shot. Full court press on and press on the ball.
Hinga has some trouble in the backcourt handling it. And Montoya releases to victory. Cross half court. A couple seconds to spare against the 10-second call. 5:13, second quarter. 38-27. Greaves forces up a 3, no good. Harrell with the rebound. His second effort is in.
Good job by Jake to go right to the basket. He saw the shot and was able to figure out how it was going to come off that rim and get the rebound.
Mackey set to check in. Next stoppage of play with 4:55 remaining in the first half. High pass. Bonner goes up and snares it. Left elbow jumper. Nothing in net for Conroy.
Conroy did a nice job of parking himself right there in the key.
With Conroy scoring, now there's been, between these two teams, 13 different players have scored.
Yeah, they have a go-to guy. So my initial statement was going to be really wrong, but they're not afraid to share the rock or shoot the rock.
In fact, Mackey was set to check in, but he actually goes back to the bench with 2 fouls. So Coach Domhoff might want to save him for the second half.
You might be looking at that one as right now he's in a comfortable 11-point lead, so why waste him? And we're about that third foul. Should Aptos creep up? You'll see number 4 back in the contest.
Greaves, uses the pump fake. 3, just left of the basket.
If you remember against the SCCAL game, Greaves came out, didn't hit anything, was really cold, didn't have his shot going. Seems like he may be able to come in different waves. Right now he's off, starting with it from the block from Bonner a couple of plays back.
DeMeo lays it in, counter to the foul. Harrell with the foul from behind.
Do not ever, listen to me now, listen to me good, ever give up baseline. Because that's what happened. DeMeo got the ball, there he is. He's got the baseline. Harrell was not able to get there to close it off, and DeMeo's got the easy bucket and now goes to the free throw line.
And for Harrell, that's just the 4th team foul against Aptos, but 3 of them have gone against Harrell. He's to the bench.
Yeah, that's not a good thing if you're the Aptos Mariners coaching staff to have that young man sitting on the bench.
Greaves also to the bench. Josiah Brown is into the game. He controls, comes up court. Nice float pass to Hinga. Victory, thought about a 3 straight away. Back Hinga, drive center to the lane, and he kind of just threw that one up at the basket.
He got in that lane and he didn't really have good control. You can see he didn't have his feet underneath him to make that good shot. Timeout for the Aptos Mariners. And that's one of the things, he was there ready to shoot, but Tim, instead of being in a good athletic position, his feet were a little bit too far out in front of him, so he wasn't able to collect and get a good shot off, so he did the best he could. But you could see how fast the Santa Cruz Cardinal defense was swarming to right where it is. Here are our spring sports. There's going to be a lot of them. We're going to lead off with volleyball, Mount Madonna at Aptos, always a great one. Aptos SoCal, some softball, baseball, Watsonville and Monte Vista Christian. Lacrosse, swimming, and we're going to end it up with baseball.
You hear the Santa Cruz Cardinals break their huddle. They are on pace, by the way, for over 100 points in this game.
They wouldn't mind doing it. They would.
I wouldn't mind seeing a team crack 100.
No, let's face it. When you go to a college game, when they crack the 100, the place goes wild. It just absolutely erupts in a high school game because you only get 32 minutes to try and score 100 points.
Santa Cruz is playing at an unbelievable rate. And I really think, Kurt, they'll be able to keep this up because they've already played 11 different players.
Right, and that's what we talked at the top of the show. They have 15 on the bench. They're not afraid to play any of them. They've got 10 that are almost completely interchangeable.
Victory in the backcourt. Gets it past DeMayo. Up top for Hinga. That's Victory to kind of slow things up and reset this offense. I think Aptos, part of the message from Joey Smith's going to be slow things down.
It's Andy Harrell, number 33, in for the Aptos Mariners. Slow it down, you're right. Reestablish offensive control and flow, also good. Just try and run some patterns. You don't have to blow the shot up once you get down in the first 5 to 10 seconds, which the Cardinals are doing.
Danny Victory, a 5'6" junior guard, inbound the ball. One of the key reserves for this team, and there's a foul on this shot against Ryan Parker.
At points like this, Tim, any point is a good point. So if you can get to the free throw line, get a foul called against one of the Cardinals, come away with 2 points, good trip down the floor.
7th team foul against Santa Cruz. And Parker, 6-footer, junior, first free throw is in. 43-29, Santa Cruz leading Aptos.
Quite a run here. Aptos only scoring 5 points here, hopefully getting a 6-point here in the second half. We're a little more than halfway through. Santa Cruz, as you had said before, just absolutely flying.
Mayo with the rebound. And up the court. Quickly comes Keith Williams. A little bit too quickly. Reeves steals it away. Bonner, though, harassing him. And oh, man, he just knocked that one a little bit late.
Little too much risk when he went in for the basketball. But you can see how quick he is. Quick with the feet, quick with his hands, darting in, knocking the ball that time, just getting a little bit too much wrist of Greaves.
Greaves lead the line to shoot 2. 4 for 5 at the line today. 1-and-1 bonus. And he's gonna miss it. And can't leave points on the scoreboard, I think, in today's game, Kurt.
Not today's.
Because Santa Cruz is just lighting it up.
They are, you're right. They are lighting it up, and if you go away, especially on a 1-and-1, you got to come away with at least 1.
Hodges, nice bounce pass down to DeMayo. Put it in, and the foul. Ty DeMayo, the junior. It's kind of a forward/center, and that's why, because he can slash the lane as well.
He did very well. You can see him sitting on the inside, a little inside pig. Spun back to the outside, very, very quick is DeMayo. He's got 8 points in the second half, the second quarter.
12 total, sorry.
12 total, my bad.
You were right about the 8 in the second quarter as the ball's thrown away by Aptos. I trust you up to 8. After that, we'll have to get the calculator out. But that's his second and 1 of the game. And I think that's one of the most underrated plays in basketball, Kurt, because not only do you get that extra chance, but you also get a foul in the other team.
Right, in the old days, they didn't have the 3-point strike, my old days. So the only way you're going to get a 3-point is shoot, make it, and have a foul call.
High arcing 3, front of the iron, no good. Bonner almost put it in. He can't. The ball's knocked out of bounds, so they'll go to Aptos.
Give you an idea, there's Bonner right there. He's got some hops. Very rarely do you see a high school kid go up and tip the ball back up while in midair. Usually they come down and go right back up with it.
Especially Bonner is listed at 6'1".
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing, he plays at about 6'4", 6'6". And he is right in Greaves' jersey. Watch him, there was a pick to try and get Bonner off, and when Bonner got a piece of the ball, he's going to get the foul called against him now, I think.
That's one of those things when you want to play tight on somebody, if they catch the ball like Greaves, usually the best idea is go towards the rim, and when they're on your side, you can be able to create a foul.
Yeah, exactly right. Work the angles, and you can see Aptos setting a lot of picks and greaves, trying to work those picks and work Bonner off of them. Bonner now going over to the bench, and Conroy checking back in.
Foul trouble for Aptos. Harrell has 3 fouls, and Maki for Santa Cruz has 2 himself.
He's got 2 himself, and do I see him in the ballgame? No, he's still comfortable over on the bench.
Greaves has had a lot of free throw attempts already. At the line, with 8 attempts on the day, all the way to the rack, and Conroy lays it in.
Take a peek. I'd love to see somebody, once Santa Cruz gets the ball in their defensive end, how fast does it take them to shoot the rock?
Oh man, Greaves starting to light it up. Quick stoppage of play.
Tad Wilitsko, the referee on the far side with the whistle, stops it. Here comes Santa Cruz.
48-35. Santa Cruz Cardinals on pace, we mentioned already, for over 100 points. That's a screen way out there, and Hodges, as he terminated, moved his feet.
Hit the brakes, but slid just a little bit too far. Henderson, number 3 for Aptos, and Hodges, number 12, were doing battle. And DeMeo threw a great pick to get Henderson off.
Greaves thought about firing that 3. It looks like Keith Williams, it's his opportunity now to face Greaves as Montoya misses the lay-in, but DeMeo fouls him. That's the 10th team foul against Santa Cruz.
DeMeo says, I was standing still with my arms straight up in the air. But somehow there must have been enough movement. A lot of times officials will give it to the offensive player for going in. They just cannot tell whether there was movement, and for the defensive player will kind of lean back a little bit just before contact.
Montoya makes the first of 2. For DeMeo, that's his 2nd personal foul.
Place is starting, not quite to capacity, but there is a tremendous crowd here at Aptos High School.
1 of 2 at the line for Montoya, 12-point lead for the Cardinals. Hodges, backup point guard.
Notice how Santa Cruz really spreads the floor offensively, trying to create angles. Nice pass.
Great idea as DeMeo had a size advantage underneath. They feed him. And DeMeo continues his strong first half with a steal and a shot in. DeMeo is on fire.
He's on fire, and so is the pace.
Greaves pull up 3 in and out. The other way comes Williams, dishes, Schmidt, right side. Flings it, left baseline, the jumper too short. Schmidt takes the rebound. Hodges, wide open, doesn't take the 3. He'll take it into the lane. DeMeo tries to lay it in, he's fouled as he went up. 16 points for DeMeo, and he has a chance for 2 more at the line.
He's gonna go for 2 more, watch this. Hodges brings 2 with him. DeMeo sees the baseline. Montoya tries to get underneath to block him, but he can't do it. Slightly undercuts DeMeo. He gets a nice little shooter's roll, as you like to call it, Tim. Gets the first one to go down. He is absolutely having a fantastic 2nd quarter. And a lot of it is because he's moving. His eyes are looking to where his players are, and he gets to an open spot. By Santa Cruz spreading the floor and moving the way they are, they're creating a lot of passing lanes.
Greaves tries to break the press. Hodges takes it away. Henderson's all over him. The ball is deflected as it goes into that court. 39 seconds remaining in the first half. Schmidt, great dish down low, and he can't quite turn it around as Hansen misses the lane. Traveling called, though, as Henderson was on the floor with the ball, and the shot clock is dead with 30.7 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter.
You look at the score, and it's definitely a big advantage as far as the Cardinals are concerned, but both of these teams continue to play with intensity.
Hodges backs it up.
18-point difference, wow.
Coach Domhoff is asking for the weave up top.
Get that thing down inside 10 seconds and start getting into your pattern.
Now with 10.
The old Indiana weave.
Williams to Hodges with 4. Schmidt with 2, pulls up. His 3 is deflected. And That'll do it for the opening half of play. Wow, 54 points on the board for Santa Cruz. They lead the Mariners with Aptos 54-36. You're watching the SCCAL Boys Varsity Basketball Finals right here on CTV. Back here at Aptos High School, the high-flying Santa Cruz Cardinals, 54 points in the first half. They lead Aptos 54-36 at the half of the boys' final here in the SCCAL. You're watching CTV Sports, a presentation of community television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball was made possible in part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Brinks Awards and Signs. Think Brinks for all your engraving, trophy, and awards. Brinks' collaborative design team has been creating quality recognition since 1974. On the internet at brinksawards.com. Well, a raucous Aptos Arena has seen the Santa Cruz Cardinals in the first half put on an offensive show. In the first quarter, it was all Zenmaki.
Well, Zenmaki came out on fire before he got in foul trouble. Hinga also doing a great job busting all the way through for a layup as he was able to split that defense. But then some turnovers came in and bit these poor guys right in the tailpipe. As you can see, Williams in there for the steal and the layup. And the Cardinals were just having a great time of it. Inside, the Aptos Mariners were consistently all the way with Akiyama with that one. Then look at this, wrap around the corner all the way. Down she goes for Hansen. Pushing the ball up the court comes Bonner, the defense especially, with a great lead pass and another layup. Greaves says, I'm not going to be outdone with some three-point talk, but Harrell says, no, I'm going to get the rebound, put it back in. They're going to need him. He went out with 3 fouls. Bonner, you can see great ball movement all the way around. Williams again dropping that one, Conroy with that basket. And then DeMeo goes up underneath, gets the baseline for a nice easy layup. Nice little give and go. DeMeo to Conroy again for 2. And this is what the Cardinals were doing the entire first half. Moving the ball, good percentage shots.
Santa Cruz moved right to left to start up the second half. And Zenmaki is into the game to run the point guard. Over to Williams in the left wing. DeMeo, he was a beast in this first half as Maki's off the front of the iron. But DeMeo, I think, really was the player of the half.
He does. I had him unofficially with 18 points in the first half of Santa Cruz's 54. Aptos going to try and clip some of the wings that the Cardinals have got stretched out because you're right, Tim, they're flying.
Greaves in the post, turnaround, 12-footer, rolls out. And if you're on defense, you don't want Maki to end up with the rebound because he can move it in transition quickly. DeMeo has been feeling it, can't make the long jumper. And Hinga, such a quick player. Look him weave through the defense, all the way to the rack with the left-hand finger roll.
Great job by Hinga. You can see that long stretch. Santa Cruz coming right back down, Williams.
And 1. And Williams has 6 after Hinga put that basket in to give him 10 for the game.
Santa Cruz is so quick, Aptos really doesn't even have an opportunity to set the press. Ball goes out of bounds. Boom, it immediately comes in bounds, and down comes everybody flying down for the Cardinals.
For Joey Smith, one of his keys of the 3 of this game is the free throws in, was play good transition defense. I think it's safe to say, transition-wise, Santa Cruz is running all over Aptos.
I completely agree. Here comes Hinga again.
And Hinga just pulls the jersey of Conroy.
That's one way to slow him down.
I mean, if you're telling your team, sometimes you say, don't commit a dirty foul. That's just grabbing somebody's jersey. Nobody's going to get hurt doing that. Do you tell your team sometimes, if you miss it, you're out of position, just commit a quick foul?
Quick foul, as long as it doesn't hurt, it's a team foul. It's the Mariners' second team foul, but that's one that's going to slow the pace down. You're right.
Schmidt, very experienced player. Kind of the rock of this team, Coach Domhoff was saying. As Maki, open 3 as the defender fell down. Right iron, no good. Offensive rebound. There's traveling violation, though. A little bit too antsy was Conroy.
A little bit of shake and bake with some salt on top of it and got in trouble.
Good job by Henderson. He was trapped in the corner. Get rid of it immediately. Greaves down low, a little bit too high for Harrell.
Harrell was down there in good position. Greaves did not really have a passing lane to get it to Jake, so the last second probably would have been a better idea for Greaves to pull up and shoot the shot.
Ball's tried to bounce down in the lane, and DeMeo ends up getting out of the way, and the ball's out of bounds to Aptos. They got to force some turnovers and get some stops defensively. They want to try to claw back into this game. It's a 19-point advantage for Santa Cruz. Ball's tied up. It stays with Aptos. Hinga is kind of one of those guys that if there's a little bit of a scuffle or the ball's tied up, he's usually going to be in the middle of it.
He's a scrappy ball player. He's a good ball player. Schmidt did a nice job of cutting off the baseline. When Hinga had to pull the ball up for the dribble, there was that quick jump ball or tie-up situation.
Conlin Henderson to Montoya. Long three left side, and Hinga can't get it to go.
Aptos only getting one shot. They've got to have to do a better job of that on the offensive board.
Maki fouled on the floor. Only the third team foul against Aptos. They only had 5 in the first half.
Maki is so quick off the dribble. That first step is so very explosive. There's Bill Domhoff barking out some orders over there on the bench.
It's against Hinga, it's third personal. Maki up top. Gets a screen on the top from Conroy. Takes it all the way to the rack himself. Floats it over Harrell and in. 15 for Maki.
Great ball control. Absolutely beautiful body control.
And a steal by Schmidt. He goes right to the lane. Lays off DeMeo as he falls down. Puts it in. 61-38. Harrell, great bounce pass. And DeMeo with a huge swat.
Great on one end. Beautiful on the other end. DeMeo with some points. Then hustles down. There he is. Beautiful little backhand layup. Even though he's sitting down, the ball gets out. That effective Cardinal press allows him to get down on defense and get the block. And here come the Cardinals. They're not wasting any time.
Maki, bounce pass right side. Underneath. Conroy back out. DeMeo jumper short. But Schmidt an offensive rebound. Puts his defender in the air and lays it in with the left hand. 6 points for Schmidt. And look down, look up. It's a 25-point lead. Schmidt with a steal as he flies down to the floor. Maki down the lane, no look pass, left hand, lay it up and in for Conroy. And Coach Smith is screaming for a timeout and he'll get it. 65-38, Santa Cruz is just running on all cylinders.
They just came out and just started playing ball. 11 points already here in the third quarter. And they're just playing that up-tempo. They really have the Aptos Mariners frustrated both on the offense and defensive side of the court.
Well, we talked about that first quarter. They had 26 points. We'll get to the end of the second quarter. They scored more, 28.
Yeah, and they're on pace to get even more than that one. I know that Hinga just tries to bowl right over the top of Schmidt, not able to do it. Schmidt bounces on the ball, and you can see how quick the transition goes from there. Down they come. Maki says, well, I've got you open on this side, and that's what happens. Santa Cruz just flies down the court. Conroy filled the lane. He didn't wait for the basketball, got down in a good position. Basketball found him. He was able to make the basket.
And you saw when he came down with the fast break, Maki drifted to his right and darted his pass to the left to bring over the defender.
Exactly right. You just bring the defender over with you. That creates a passing lane. If your partner or your teammate is also coming down the court, they've got to be coming down in their lane, and they've got to be looking to create a passing area too.
Once again, the 1-2-1-1 press. Victory is coming to the game. They try to break this press. Pulls up, short on the 12-footer, and a rebound up court, all the way to the rack. Williams will lay it in.
This has gone from a basketball game to a track meet.
67-38. Another turnover almost caused. And Aptos is close to a 10-second call. Foul against Conroy as he flies into his bench, gets helped up by his teammates. First team foul, first personal against Conroy.
Flew into the nest of Cardinals. That's not a bad place to go. Santa Cruz is feeding on its own energy and its own success, which is typical in sports. Aptos on the other one, they're fighting to not feed on their current situation. They want to get some more positive things going.
One of the keys for Santa Cruz. There's a illegal screen called against Aptos, and that is against Ryan Parker. It's his first personal foul, but one of the keys was stop Nick Greaves. They've given up 13 points to Greaves. They haven't exactly stopped him, I'd say, but at the same time, if you don't have to stop guys if you're going to put up 67 points, and we got 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
They come down, and I've said it before in the first half. I would imagine from the time they get the shot clock at 35 seconds to the time they shoot it, 10 seconds has not gone off that clock, and they are getting great percentage shot. We're not talking about three points from 20-some-odd feet out. These are 10-footers and layups.
3-on-1 for Aptos. Parker will lay it in.
Gotta like Parker. He took it all the way to the rack. He was contested, but he liked his shot.
Mackey with contact, loses the ball. Henderson with victory with them. But Schmidt, active hands, knocks the ball away, right in your living room.
Great double team. Conroy on one side was going right with Henderson. Henderson was not able to turn into the basket. And you can see Schmidt with his speed was able to catch up and knock the ball away. And double team at full speed.
Ball's left of the basket. Henderson to inbounds. Quickly down low to Harrell. He shuffled his feet.
That's at least 4, maybe 5 times that we've seen number 22 on the traveling. And that is caused by the defensive presence. He's trying to get something to happen, but the defense won't let him do it, so he moves his feet.
Hansen thought about taking his third three of the game. Stealing down low, lay it up and in. Conroy got position, used his body and laid it in.
Everything is going right for the Santa Cruz Cardinals.
Conroy with 8. 69-40. Santa Cruz. Man, oh man, they've been lighting it up.
They are a good ball club. When I talked to the two coaches from Santa Cruz, they said, we're going to run. We like to run. And the quickness, they can get a team in a transition game, they feel they've got the better edge. You know what? So far they're right.
Backup point guard, Hodges into the game. A junior, but I don't think it really changes the speed of this offense at all. Bonner kind of floated in, and that pass went out from Mackey.
Mackey just trying to get a little bit too cute. But when you're up by 30 points, you can afford to get a little bit too cute. Tom Smith said, blows the whistle, is going to start it back over with a reset.
I think Joey Smith might be a little bit frustrated on the bench because they broke the press easily there and have to try to re-break it. Henderson, open three, the lefty, got it. Second three of the game for Henderson. Right side, Bonner airs, and 18-footer, that one actually hit out of bounds.
All right, that didn't draw iron, but that shot was off towards the bucket and they hadn't even run 4 seconds off the shot clock.
Bonner with the steal. He goes right up to the rack, and Harrell picks up his 4th foul.
Santa Cruz is able to back off Aptos, trying to break that press. It's a little bit longer pass, and the quickness to which the Cardinals can cover ground, especially number 23 Bonner, is just amazing. And they've got some other quick guys. Mackey, Hodges, all very, very fast and very savvy on the court.
It's a 27-point lead for Santa Cruz. Bonner misses the first. Harrell picked up his 4th foul, and Coach Smith's going to roll the dice and keep him in the game. Harrell a little bit frustrated as from underneath. Hansen's called for the loose ball foul. First personal.
I do like that foul by Hansen in that they don't have that many team fouls, but it shows the aggressiveness. There's a steal by Bonner.
Bonner will go up. Harrell's got to be careful. Lets him lay it in because that would have been Harrell's 5th. Bonner with 7.
Bonner with almost another steal. We've got a foul being called. It may be against Bonner. It is against Bonner. A little bit too much of a reach. Got a lot of ball, but just a little bit too much skin.
Greaves will check in. Montoya is back into the game. And for Aptos, I mean, you're down by 29. What do you tell your team right now, Kurt?
You just have to keep telling them to play heads-up basketball, run the patterns. When you get your shot, shoot your shot.
Harrell, fade away in the lane, kind of force that, and Maki ends up with the rebound. Head on a swivel as he crosses half court. Oh, he looked like he called that ball, and he did.
He did. Had that thing. NBA, they don't get that call. High school basketball, you're going to get that call.
72-43. Santa Cruz, 26 in the first quarter.
You know,
28 in the second, 18 in the third.
Okay, and I'll give you one. Not too many years ago, well, maybe before the shot clock, Santa Cruz used to come into Aptos, Pete Newell versus Bill Warmerdam, two legendary coaches in the SCCAL, and they would go to a stall. And back then, if the defense didn't come out to guard you, you could hang around with the ball. You had 10-point halves at that time.
Now it's Santa Cruz averaging, at this point, quick math, about 10 points every 3 or 4 minutes. In the lane and left his feet. A little bit of a bailout. Bonner is able to collect it from Conroy with just, I say just, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Haven't even had to look at the shot clock most of the day. Conroy, right baseline.
There's a push and a shove. Conroy's going to get a charge called against him. That may be the longest time I've seen Santa Cruz with the ball offensively before they shot it.
And they didn't get to 10 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, that's amazing.
That's working the clock for the Cardinals, by the way.
Greaves, three, right side. It goes in. First pass into the second half for Greaves, 16 points. Maki on the other wing has that one stolen away, but Victory couldn't keep it in with 1:26 remaining in the third period.
Great hustle by Victory. Defensively, he could see that Maki was going to just go to work on himself, so he took a shot at a steal, and he almost got it.
Hodges to inbound. Maki asked for it up top. They go to the right for one of the bench players. And
Chris Martin, number 33.
Just committed to travel.
Well, you're going to get your name in the book somehow or another. You would prefer it with a point.
Victory, right side. Greaves, open three, takes it, buries it.
Greaves says we're going to have to make a lot of points in a hurry. The quickest way I know how to do it is drain the three.
23-point lead for Santa Cruz. Hodges, as he went to the rack, carry.
He's worried about a foul being called against him. He's not going to get it, but he got that ball first pinned on him, then he couldn't get it away. That good call by Tad Wolitzko, the referee on this side. Bill Domhoff feeling comfortable.
Hodges off on Keith Williams. Harrell looking to release. And he will cross half court. Don't think they reset the shot clock. It's only 15 on it. Left wing three's no good. Harrell takes it to the rack. Back iron. Victory threw it up, and a foul is called.
Great job by Victory by catching the ball and firing it back up. He's going to get 2 shots on the deal. If he'd have just come down and been fouled, it would have only been 1. It would have been on the floor.
His first free throw is in. 49.7 seconds remaining third quarter. 72-50. Santa Cruz had the score for about the last minute, Kurt. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it's been that long before them to score. I have a feeling it'll change.
Goes 2 for 2. And Maki slowly up court.
Well, Santa Cruz can relax a little bit offensively, take their time, run an offensive set. They do have some new personnel in the game, but they're still going to try and work that up-tempo type of a style. But right now, run an offensive pattern.
Bonner, look at how athletic he is, and that one is blocked away. And Greaves, though, will commit the foul. As Martin went up with it, he kind of, I think, put his arm on his shoulder and blocked him with the right hand.
He did, a little bit of that good body contact. A lot of the fans, all they see is hand on ball. They don't necessarily see the other hand shoving on the hip.
Coach Smith, you see him on your screen, young looking fellow.
He is a good shooter. He's still, I was going to say in his day, but he still is a good shooter. His dad, Jack Smith, comes out to the park where I work in Capitola and spends about a half hour perfecting his shot as well.
Both free throws out for Martin. Shot clock is dead, and Victory will slow it down for Aptos. They trail by 21 here at home in the boys varsity championship. Greaves just lets that one fly. I think he was looking for a foul against Maki. And is that against Harrell or Maki? They're going to call it against Maki.
I think it's going to go against Maki. And Greaves is going to take it upon himself. If he's got just any kind of an opportunity to throw up a three, he's going to do it. If he gets fouled, it doesn't make it great. He's such a good free throw shooter. He could probably go to the line and make 3 points that way.
Harrell, 1-1. Misses the front end. Greaves collects the rebound, and he'll throw it in. 6 seconds. All the way down court already. Bonner with 4 seconds. Ball's given away. Greaves pulls up. 3 on the way. No good. That would have been a big momentum swing for Aptos. But the Aptos Mariners trail 72-53 at the conclusion of 3 periods here on CTV in the SCCAL Championships. CTV Sports is a presentation of community television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball was made possible in part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Brinks Awards and Signs. Think Brinks for all your engraving, trophies, and awards. Brinks' collaborative design team has been creating quality recognition since 1974 on the internet at brinksawards.com. And the Aptos Mariners trying to come back into this game, and a layup here definitely helps.
It does that one, and notice how they run the floor. Good job with Parker on the outside, breaks in. Henderson hits him with a beautiful pass and a nice easy layup.
Final 8 minutes of play here, Kurt. What's your keys for both these teams?
Aptos is going to have to shut out Santa Cruz and come up with a pretty good number to get on top, being down by 19 points.
I think Santa Cruz now is content to run some time off the clock, already in the weave.
Now they're going to push it off. They're going to work it out. You're right. Wait till they get it inside 15 seconds before they work in the pattern that's inside three-point line.
Williams up top. Maki reset. High screen from Conroy. Maki driving in on Montoya. Just 5 on the shot clock. Harrell takes it away, and he is fouled from behind by Maki.
That is one of the frustration fouls. Maki was running with him, but Harrell had just that little bit of a step on him, and they're going to get that foul called against him. Those are the type of fouls that Maki knows better. That sometimes when you're frustrated and you cough up the basketball, you will make those kinds of fouls.
Harrell will make the first of 2. Well, 2 because he made the front end of the 1-and-1. Third personal against Maki, 8th team foul. Second free throw is in. Down to a 17-point game. This is the smallest the lead's been for Santa Cruz in the second half.
You know, one of the things that Santa Cruz has to look out for, Aptos really man-to-man, pushing a long way out. Santa Cruz calling a timeout. But Tim, one of the things I think Santa Cruz has to look out for is they can't slow the pace down that has made them so successful, getting up to 70, now 72 points. They've got to be able to keep that pace going up at a high level.
As you see on our screen, DVD copies of this telecast are available via mail for $25. Go to communitytv.org/forms, download and complete a dub request form, mail it along with your check for $25, and CTV will mail you a DVD of the game. For more information, call 425-8848. (72-55). Santa Cruz leads Aptos. And Maki is inbound the ball to Schmidt. 25 on the shot clock. Maki attacks the lane, dishes out for Williams up the left wing. And Williams penetrates with contact, puts it up. And Montoya might have got stepped on.
Yeah, DeMeo coming in for the rebound. Didn't have any place for his foot to go. So he ended up stepping on top of Montoya's head.
I think the message for Coach Domhoff in the huddle was pretty simple to Maki. His senior leader said, hey, Zen, take it to the hoop.
Well, that's what I was saying. You've got to keep the pace going that made you very successful. If you lay back, Aptos has pushed the defense out a long way trying to get those turnovers and deny Santa Cruz the opportunity to get in an offensive rhythm. you find yourself out of that offensive rhythm, and especially with shooters like Grieve and Hinga, you could find yourself in a really close basketball game.
Here's the first two of this quarter for Santa Cruz, 73-56. Cardinals lead. Greaves from way downtown, and as he set up, took an extra step. Coach Smith is asking for the full court pressure. It's got to cause turnovers somehow, although got to be scared about how much the Santa Cruz team can run.
Good ball handling, and you see a mismatch of the 2 point guards. Maki, the bigger of the two.
Tried to dish down low. Harrell ends up with the steal, and he's fouled by Maki. And Harrell will get to the line for another 1-and-1.
Domhoff looking at Zen, saying, hey, come on over here. It's okay. No, yeah, you got him with the foul, no worries. We're still up by a few.
74-55.
I'm sorry, Tim. These are the points, though, that you don't want to give up. Free throws. Clock's not running. Aptos can cut it back down to a 17-point lead.
Harrell makes the front end. You have to make free throws if you're Aptos. It's just one of those things where if you're down by 18, and that was the 9th foul against Santa Cruz, by the way, and the 4th personal on Maki. But if you're Coach Smith, I mean, you always want to make free throws. I don't think, there's ever a time you don't want to make them, but I think now you need to make them.
You need to make them. There's not a don't anywhere in basketball that I can remember from all of the coaches that I've spoken with, unless you're deliberately trying to miss one and get a long bounce for a hopefully lucky rebound. But right now it is a have-to-make situation. Jake did both of them. Great job.
The ball is deflected. Hockey's so quick, just flies underneath it. And Santa Cruz gets into their offense. And Maki is fouled on his way to the hoop.
Anderson with just a little bit of a shove. Trying to hand check Maki all the way along that far side. And once Maki was going to go by him, Henderson a little bit too much of a shove and got caught with his hand in a cookie jar.
Maki will be at the line for a 1-and-1. Tim Swartz here along with Mr. Kurt Edwards. Santa Cruz County Athletic League Championships. Women's game. As the first free throw for Maki is in. Went to upstart St. Francis. The 4th-seeded Sharks win in double overtime against SCCAL. And here's game 2 of our doubleheader, the boys championship. Second free throw is in.
Maki doing a nice job. Re-getting the lead up to 19.
6:30 remaining. Aptos needs some breaks. Montoya out. Henderson, 3. Need that one. Off the front iron, no good. Greaves takes the tipped out rebound and throws it in himself.
Great job by Greaves. You notice he was going up one way, had to change and hesitate his shot, but never lost concentration.
Open, left wing. Thought better than taking the 3 was Conroy. Took it to the rack and he committed a charging. And that's a big call because if it's against Harrell, that's his 5th.
That would have been a bad point for Aptos, but Harrell had a nice job. Good defensive position to take that crash.
Hinga outright. Greaves, long 3 off the front of the iron. Harrell with the rebound, puts it up, counted on the foul. Just a 15-point game with 6 minutes left.
Still a lot of time, Tim, an absolute heck of a lot of time, especially if Aptos can get a couple of stops and in transition come up with 3 points. How they get them is not really relevant, but they've got to get them, whether it's a bucket and a free throw or the 3-point shot. They just need those points.
Harrell makes another free throw. 76-62. The smallest Santa Cruz's lead has been in the second half.
Good man-to-man difference. Almost, he did get away with the traveling.
Maki throws it back up top for Hansen. They run the weave with Williams. And a foul, offensive, illegal screen against Santa Cruz. And I believe,
I think that was against Hansen,
yes,
number 21.
Well, I think worst case scenario for Santa Cruz, you want to take 20 seconds off the clock. That time they only took 10 seconds off the clock, gave it back to Aptos.
Right, that's that stop that Aptos is looking for. Santa Cruz trying to shorten up the game, finds themselves sometimes getting out of their offensive rhythm.
Hand check, and Hinga on the floor. Basket doesn't count. We'll get to the line for 2 now. They're in the double bonus.
They're in the double bonus, but you look again, there's 2 points that Aptos could potentially get. Hinga, a very good free throw shooter. Clock is stopped. They can get all right up to 12-point differential. So this game's far from over. Aptos starting to creep back in. Very similar to what St. Francis did in the women's game. They were down so far at the end of the first quarter, just nibble, 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 and by the end of double overtime, the SCCAL Women's Champion was the St. Francis Sharks.
Just a 13-point game. Kurt, you get that feeling. We had it in the first game. This is going to come down to the wire. Hinga misses the second. DeMeo comes up with a big rebound. It's almost stolen away by Henderson. And a timeout was called for by Santa Cruz before the ball went out of bounds.
Todd Wolitzko said he called a timeout. The referee, one of them, I didn't see which one, called the ball out of time, but timeout is going to win. Wow. Aptos fans not happy.
That's a tough break for Coach Smith. And I have to say that it looked like for a couple of moments that Santa Cruz, when they had the momentum, were running and gunning, that they could run away with this game. And let's kind of listen in to what Coach Domhoff has to say to his team.
You don't have the deep pass for a layup. Ty, you roll. Go on, you roll. Okay, whoever gets it, get back to walk, bring it up. Okay? No foul. We foul, the clock stops. They're in the game. Just keep the clock running, okay? Play good, solid man. Move your feet. You called it.
As Coach Edwards next to me was saying, don't foul. And Greaves, off the miss, was able to put it in. DeMeo tried to tip the rebound out, ended up going to Greaves, but it's such a great point because you can even allow teams to lay the ball in, but that's an extra 10, 15 seconds that comes off the clock.
Exactly. If you're going to score, if you're going to allow them to score while the clock is running, that's one thing. You're just melting the clock. If you allow them to go to the charity stripe when it's turned off, that's not good.
Hansen to Schmidt. Ball's at the top, and Hansen's pass is stolen away. Harrell runs the fast break, swings it left side. Greaves, 18-footer on the way off the front iron, no good. And Schmidt got way up for that rebound, and he will run it up himself.
They can keep the ball in Schmidt's hands or Maki's hands. It's going to be really good. Now it's a little too much one-on-one, not enough movement from the Cardinals.
Backdoor pass, Maki lays it in.
That was beautifully done. Nice give and go.
Harrell in the backcourt. Hinga tries to put it in the second gear. Greaves way downtown. NBA three. Timeout called for by Coach Smith.
Aptos down by only 12 at this point in time. Still 4 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the game. And you can see Greaves why he is so feared as a shooter. He gets the shot off quick. He gets to where he wants to shoot it. He elevates. He's got a nice high wrist action and just fires that thing right up. Not just give and go. DeMeo, Tamaki, the layup.
Greaves,
beautifully written.
You just hit that three with 26 points on the game, Kirk.
I mean, he's fantastic, and a lot of his shots are threes. That's where he's going to get his bread and butter from. He can play inside, but when he goes to that next level, his size is 6'3", he's going to be a shooting guard. And he showed us from there, he was about 6 or 7 feet outside the three-point arc, so he can hit that long-range jumper.
78-66. The Aptos Mariners trail, and here's that bomb from Greaves.
Hinga with it. There's Greaves quickly. Plants both feet, gets a jump, as he's going up. The hands are going up. Good wrist flip, great forearm and wrist strength by Greaves to make that shot.
And then the key there, too, doesn't matter how far you are. You can be 30 feet away from the basket. If you square up like Greaves did there, you're going to make it more often than not.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Tim. Very good point.
Left side, DeMeo lays it underneath for Schmidt, and he is fouled by Montoya. The Aptos faithful here, and Coach Smith didn't think that was a foul.
He thought there was a little bit too much. Watch DeMeo. He comes through. He's got that one. Quick to Schmidt, but here comes the cavalry right on through. And, oh, yeah, that was a foul. Got a lot of ball, but also a lot of body.
Free throws in for Schmidt. 79 points for this Cardinals ball club. He misses the second. Rebounds tipped out to Henderson. But Schmidt comes from behind, almost took it away. Henderson lays it off. Harrell waited for contact, puts it up, gets 2 free throws. Smart idea from Harrell because he could have gone up, probably had to lay in, but he wanted to go for the and one.
He did a very good job. He could see the defense coming on him. Scramble right in there. Henderson doing a good job of staying with it. Little pump fake coming right on through. Blocked by Mackey, but also fouled. That is his 5th foul. So Hodges is going to come in and take his place. You might lose a little bit offensively, but I'll tell you, Hodges is a very good player. So Zen having a great afternoon, but he's going to see the last 4 minutes from the bench.
Yeah, Mackey had that 11-point first quarter, and we don't have official assist stats, but I mean, he's got to have 10 at least. Mackey ends up this game with 19 points. Harrell makes the second. 12-point game, 4 minutes remaining. Hodges will break the press. Henderson's still on him.
You don't want to have too many Cardinals in one spot. There's a push and a shove on Montoya. Joey Smith is saying, hey, how about a back court? I thought that ball hit on or on the other side of the line. The referee says, I saw the foul.
And that is 5 against Montoya.
It doesn't surprise me that we've got this many players in foul trouble and now these two fouling out because of the pace of this game as well as the physicality that this game is being played.
And the emotion. This is a big time game for both of these teams.
Oh, it is. You know, you've got the CCS standing. Santa Cruz wants to be the undisputed champion of the SCCAL. They won the league, and they wanted to win the tournament, so there is absolutely no doubt who the #1 team is coming out of the SCCAL. They also want to get the highest seed they possibly can in their division.
Aptos coming into this game with a 21-4 record. Santa Cruz 18-6. Though Santa Cruz, you could say, played a little bit more difficult of a non-league schedule. As Hinga, just gets the ball away. Left side, laid it up and in. Josiah Brown, who just came off the bench out of nowhere. Hodges, other side, to DeMeo, who laid it, 82-69.
You score, I'll score.
Greaves pulls up, 3. Back iron, no good. Brown, the big rebound off the bench. Henderson will chuck one up. He'll nail it. It's just a 10-point game.
They're clawing back, Tim. They got off a blistering start, then fell apart as Santa Cruz kept running. This is why you play basketball, and you want to play it for all 32 minutes.
Bonner, ill-advised pass down low. Harrell almost stole it away.
Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Schmidt gets it away just before the 5 counts. Henderson's going to be called for a foul there. Looked like Hodges kind of just leaned into him and fell over.
He was leaning into him. He didn't have his balance. Now that is a ticky-tack foul. They may be traveling. Henderson really did not do anything to initiate the contact, but Hodges did a great job of selling the foul.
Coach Smith is real hot. He's kind of calmed down a little bit, but he's had a lot of words from these officials.
Not by much. One of the things, Santa Cruz Division 4 in the CCS, they're ranked 2nd Division 4, and Hodges makes that one. The #1 ranked Division 4 is Sacred Heart Prep up in Menlo Atherton.
Greaves, cross-court pass for Hinga. Up straight away for Henderson. Greaves asked for it up the right side. Gotta hurry up for Aptos. They're down by 12. Greaves, open, 3, right wing. Can't cut it to a one-digit game. And that's kind of a big miss as Hinga knocks that one away, but could have cut it to the 9-point game, the 3-possession game.
You can get it inside double digits, you're right. That is key, and that's what Aptos wants to try and do. Hey, Greaves had a really good look at that shot. Had a nice release, he just missed it.
Hodges breaks the press, and Santa Cruz is content to now take some time off the clock.
Yeah, but Aptos is going to have none of it. Even Big Harrell is way the heck out there.
That's a 5-second call.
I thought I would never see that call in this game. You've got to get rid of the ball, and he was way out here towards it. This is what Aptos wanted to do, is force Hodges as deep as they could. Don't let him make any penetration inside 5 seconds. It's an old call, but it's still there.
Henderson to Harrell with just 2 minutes left. Time starting to run out against Aptos, but another foul against Santa Cruz is going to stop the clock with 1:59 to go.
All points that you can get from the free throw line, I'll beat this thing into the ground, are gifts.
Coach Domhoff, last time we were in their huddle, was saying the same exact thing, Kurt. Do not commit fouls. But it doesn't help too much if Brown misses the first free throw.
Yeah, true, you do have to make them, but as a coach, you know, you can start having a hairline like mine, which really isn't much of a line. It's more of a circle, large circle.
Both free throws no good for Brown. Hodges airs up a pass, and DeMeo can't collect a hot shot pass from Williams.
Santa Cruz going to make some quick little substitutions. Bonner coming back into the game very, very quickly, as does Conroy. Rolling out is Hanson and Williams.
And they're going to go full court man-to-man as opposed to that pressure defense. 12-point lead for Santa Cruz. Bonner
right in Greaves' wallet.
Harrell, Hinga, right wing, 3. 9-point game as Hinga's knocked over into the stands. Just beating the 5-second call. Conroy gets into play. Bonner to DeMeo, and a timeout called for by Santa Cruz. 1:26 remaining in the game. 84-75. Aptos trails Santa Cruz. Too early to foul?
Yes, still too early to foul. As you know, you're up. You're sitting down by 9, but I wouldn't foul at this point in time. If I get another 3 and I can get it down to around 6, shoot, yes, I'd foul. You have to remember, Santa Cruz is a pretty good foul shooting ball club too.
DVD copies of this telecast are available via mail for $25. Go to communitytv.org/forms, download the completed dub request form. Mail along with your check for $25 or call us at 425-8848. Here's that big 3 from Hinga.
You see how that worked. It started with Hinga. He passed it inside. The ball started to work in. Defense started to collapse into the paint. Good pass back out to Hinga. Able to hit that 3. On the other side of the court was the Bonner versus Greaves pushing and shoving and let me go contest. And Bonner has been given one real simple assignment. Don't let him go. Stay with him. Hang on to him. Don't care what you do. If you do foul him, all right, he's going to go to the charity stripe, but we don't want him dropping 3s. If he's going to cast a 3, for heaven's sakes, don't foul him when he's shooting his 3 points.
Santa Cruz to inbound the ball there. Starting point guard, Maki, has fouled out. There's a trap. Ball is almost tied up, and finally Hodges will get it with 25 on the shot clock. Well, they're just going to try to trap, and finally Greaves will commit a foul at the logo with 1:15 remaining in the game. 84-75. Santa Cruz makes their free throw. They should win this game.
They should be able to do that. That type of foul, though not intentionally, that's your pressure foul. You're going after the ball. If you foul him, okay. If you steal it, great. Somehow or another, you just want to interrupt that offensive flow.
Hodges rolls in the first free throw. And Bonner, the offensive for defensive substitution, he replaces Williams. Second free throw also good. 11-point lead for Santa Cruz. 1:11 remaining in the game.
See how quick they're going to get this thing to blow it up.
Hinga, long three, air ball. That one almost kept in by Brown, but it did hit the end line.
Game effort. Referee down on the baseline made that call. And these are the substitutions that you're going to see. Fast and furious, you're right. Offense, defense. Bonner, when they can rotate him in for defense, he'll be right on in. They want the best set of hands and scoring opportunities they can get on the floor.
Schmidt hands it off to Hodges. In the backcourt, he's double teamed. Schmidt in front of his own basket. Over to Hodges, they break half court. And a foul by Greaves.
Okay, now you just do anything you possibly can. You're down by 11, 55 seconds to go. You might as well foul as fast as you can. Hope for a miss, grab the rebound, explode the ball down the floor, and see if you can't get a couple of threes.
Close to a capacity crowd. They've been treated to a entertaining day of basketball. First free throw in for Hodges. As we mentioned, that girls game went to double overtime, and it ended up with a basket as time ran out, winning it for the St. Francis Sharks. And for Santa Cruz, they just put up about 90 points. No big deal for this team because they are a team that loves to run and gun.
Yeah, this game going in was going to be one that was going to be fast-paced the entire time. Quick whistle. A little pushing and shoving underneath. Santa Cruz wanted to get the basketball. And they got a foul. Aptos gets the chance to go to the charity stripe.
87-75. 54.2 seconds left.
Tim, as we talked before, we knew this was going to be an up and down windshield wiper type of a basketball game, and it has proved to be just that.
Harrell makes the first. Once again, the offensive specialists, Hanson and Williams, replace the defensive specialists, Bonner and Conroy.
You're looking at these two clubs in 32 minutes of play, putting up over 163. And still 163 points.
Harrell steals the ball away. And Harrell to the rack. Blocking foul counted. And one. 9-point game.
Harrell has come alive. He only had 4 free throws in the third quarter, but he has really jumped back into this game. Playing with a purpose.
Coach Domhoff is telling his young player, Hodges, just let him go. Because the worst thing they can do is give him a 3-point play. Hodges collects.
Now you want to be wide. Look at this. 4 Mariners chasing Hodges. Brown ends up fouling Hodges in the backcourt.
Last minute of play might take 20 minutes because both these teams are just kind of trying to chip away. Aptos, give them credit, they've chipped away at this lead the last couple of seconds.
They did. They were down. They were down by 20 points. They were down by 19 points.
I think they were down by 27.
27 at one time. It looked like all was lost. But credit Joseph Smith and his dad and the rest of the Mariners for not quitting. Part of which is they can't afford to quit because they finished this game. They'll go into the seedings for the CCS, and then they're going to be right back into it. So they want to go out knowing that they played good, solid basketball.
89-79. They need some threes. Need them quickly. Hinga to Greaves. He's going to chuck one up.
He'll shoot it if it comes in the gym.
And it's no good. DeMeo ended up with the rebound. He's fouled from behind by Hinga. And I think that'll do it. 12-point game with 26.3 seconds remaining. Santa Cruz with some free throws, and I think Coach Smith's going to call up the dogs defensively here.
Yeah, he may do just that, and I think you're right. At this point in time, if you can drop 2 more points in there or even 1 more point, it pretty much seals the fate. But I know one thing about Aptos. They won't give it up. They'll play defense down the floor. If they can throw a 3, you'll see the defense tighten up. If they get a stop, I think you'll see Santa Cruz just play easy.
79. Henderson up the floor. Greaves is going to take one from about 30 feet. Back iron, no good. Hinga tips the rebound to himself. He'll kind of just chuck up a crazy shot. Harrell with the alley-oop. Timeout called for by Joey Smith. Then it's a 91-81 game.
I always like those alley-oop plans, whether it's a planned one or a good job getting underneath a short shot rebound. So at this point in time, Aptos, they're down by 10. Not quite certain why the timeout was called. And it's everything's over, but pretty much the shouting and the giving away of the trophies. Great job by both of these coaching staffs to get their clubs here. Joey Smith of the Aptos Mariners did a good job of bringing his kids back after being down by almost 30 points at various point in time in the game. And of course, Bill Domhoff and his coaching staff for getting his kids prepared and ready to go. Jeff Dunn, pretty good baseball player, good baseball coach, statesman, author, filmmaker, former executive director, try it again, director of community television, and basically kind of a nice guy when you really get to know him. Only known him for 25 years, so I can get away with saying that.
I give him credit for still talking to you after 25 years.
No, he doesn't, but that's okay.
This will do it here for this one. Santa Cruz put on a show offensively. Handshakes between Coach Domhoff and his assistants, some hugs. The ball goes up in the air, and the Santa Cruz Cardinals have taken the regular season and now postseason championships in the SCCAL. 91-81, they defeat Aptos. We'll take a break and be back with some final thoughts here from Aptos High School. You're watching CTV Sports. The Santa Cruz Cardinals line up the scoreboard with 91 points as they take home an SCCAL Boys Varsity Basketball Championship over Aptos. CTV Sports is a presentation of Community Television of Santa Cruz County, a nonprofit membership organization serving county residents by providing education and tools to access media. Visit us at communitytv.org. This CTV presentation of SCCAL basketball is made possible in part by the generous support of
Cruzio Internet, Santa Cruz County's largest independent internet service provider, offering high-speed wireless internet, a co-location data center, and flexible workspaces with 10 gigabytes of fiber internet. Details online at cruzio.com.
And by Brinks Awards and Signs. Think Brinks for all your engraving, trophy, and awards. Brinks' collaborative design team has been creating quality recognition since 1974 on the internet at brinksawards.com. Back here at Aptos High School, Tim Swartz here with Kurt Edwards. And Kurt, before this game, we said the speedy Santa Cruz Cardinals. That's how we characterize them. They didn't disappoint.
No, they didn't. They had the wings out, and they were flying. Matter of fact, it's sometimes soaring throughout this game. And to come up with 91 points, they've got to put the biscuit in the basket a heck of a lot of times.
It was a 54-point first half for Santa Cruz. And let's look at the second half, starting out with some tough defense from Schmidt.
I'll tell you, Santa Cruz played tough defense all the way around. Look at them run the lanes. Conroy all the way down with that easy bucket. That was the whole night, whole time. Aptos also being able to run the floor with some easy Aptos. Then came the long range, but they were going to get these turnoffs. Bonner doing a super job defensively all night long. Greaves trying to figure it out.
To shoot Aptos back in this game. And, you know, if we see another three here from Greaves, he almost did it.
He really did. He was launching them out, and he also had some other help. But watch this nice little give, go, Maki with the layup.
And Santa Cruz led by as many as 27 points in the second half, but it was cut to a single-digit game thanks in part to another bomb from Greaves.
Tell you, one of the heroes of today's game was Ty DeMayo, who ended up with 24 points by playing good basketball and getting some easy buckets like that.
Henderson hit a three late, but got down to an 8-point lead. That's as small as it would get for Santa Cruz as the Aptos Mariners hit some more threes.
Hinga with a long-range butter, and here's Hodges on the countdown.
And he just flings the ball up about all the way up to the rafters. It was a championship, a sweep of the championships for the Santa Cruz Cardinals. They win the regular season championship, and now they won the postseason championship. A lot of momentum going into CCS play.
Tremendous amount of momentum. Again, Santa Cruz ranked number 2, Division 4 in the CCS. They're going to be high up in there. They should go a long way in their division. Aptos may have a little tougher time with it, but they're a very good ball club. We'll see them both in the playoffs.
Our next broadcast here on CTV, we'll be right back here at Aptos High School for a boys volleyball matchup.
Very cool. Mount Madonna, always great with volleyball. Aptos equally as strong. Going to be fun to see that matchup.
So that does it for our basketball coverage here on CTV. Once again, if you missed it, the girls' final, double overtime victory for the St. Francis Sharks. And there are your boys' champions, the Santa Cruz Cardinals. 26-point first quarter, 28-point second quarter. They were running and gunning all the way to a sweep of the championship in the SCCAL. For my broadcast partner, Kurt Edwards, pleasure as always, Kurt. My name is Tim Swartz for our entire CTV production crew on site here in Aptos. Thanks for much for joining us, and we'll see you in the spring sports season.